Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast, your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Stuff and Things Podcast. I am Sam. Joining me on Walking Dead Wednesday to discuss the World Beyond Season 2, it's my partner in crime, it's Stefan.
Hey buddy, this is like the busiest week we've had in a while.
Oh, definitely the busiest week in a while, yeah, and it's Christmas week, you know,
yeah.
Feeling festive.
I'm all good, I finished work last week. We finished on Friday, this is my week off. I've now had 3 days of doing sod all. It's been amazing.
Yeah, alright, show off. Alright, easy, show off. Plenty of people listening to this working right now who hate you.
I love you all. Yeah.
We are talking about the Walking Dead World Beyond on Walking Dead Wednesday. It's Season 2. The show was always 1 and 2 seasons and done. Kind of like a set story that they wanted to tell. Anybody who's a fan of the podcast and fan of the Walking Dead universe and have listened to us talk about the World Beyond will know that we're not a fan. This is not a massive kind of bitch fest about the show. This is just a simple fact that me and Stefan are both guys in their 30s who looked at this and went, I don't think this is aimed at us. It's like a teenage angsty kind of show, which perhaps when we were 18, 19 we would have enjoyed, but older, not so much. So we've watched the show very much for information on the CRM, because that, you know, is very applicable to the wider Walking Dead universe and the Rick Grimes movies, and there are snippets of that throughout season 2, not a massive amount. But so what we've done is we've basically bullet pointed across the episodes. You know, these are the happenings, if you like. A few discussion points, so we're going to run through those, but our focus is going to be really on the kind of impactful aspects which will echo across to the other shows.
Yeah, what can we take from this? What information have they given us? Yeah.
So, my friend, as per tradition, we have a whole season here, but the tradition is, I say to you, and the title of the episode was. So, the title of the episodes in season 2 were...
There's a couple here that I'm going to struggle with, but okay. Episode 1 was Consequence.
Yeah, okay.
Not consequence, but consequence.
Yeah, I'd go with that. I think that's right.
We then had foothold.
Yep.
Exit wounds.
Correct. Family
is a 4-letter word if spelt incorrectly.
Yeah. Yep, true.
Quarter voice. Quater voice.
I'm not sure on that one.
Who are you?
Yep.
Let's be having you.
Who are you? Yep.
Any English football fans will get that one straight away.
Yep.
Blood and Lies.
Yep.
Returning Point.
Yep.
Death and the Dead.
I like that name, by the way. I thought that was a good name of an episode.
Yeah. And The Last Light. Yeah, which is quite good, because that's obviously what they've spoken about throughout the 2 seasons, how the CRM are the last light.
Yeah, the Civic Republic's the last light of civilization.
It was nice of them to finish the series finish the show.
Yes. Yeah, very well, kind of. Okay, so, episode 1. The episode begins with a flashback of 6 weeks. So what that tells us is the entirety of season 1 was 6 weeks. Yep. That was kind of interesting, I thought.
They got halfway across the country in 6 weeks by foot. They have done well.
Yeah. So that was I think worth a note. Yeah. It shows us something kind of huge, which is that the CRM not only took out the campus colony, which we kind of already knew. We knew that they were involved in that. They destroyed the whole place. Now, we're talking 100,000 people that were living in, I think, Omaha?
Yeah, now that in itself, that's a mind-blowing number. Like, considering everything we've seen in The Walking Dead, we've probably seen, would you say The Sanctuary was probably the biggest, like, with the Saviours? That was probably the biggest amount of people we've seen.
Yeah, I'd probably say that, and that was like 1,000?
At max.
Yeah. Like
this is 100,000 people. Like, this is a big damn place.
And this is a big deal, because they've murdered them. You know, the last light of civilization has gone out.
Snuffed that light out. Yeah.
Yeah, Omaha is gone. So the whole alliance thing, the CRM, the symbols, the three circles, which is the Civic Republic, Omaha, and Portland.
Yeah.
So this is an alliance of three, and one of those rings is gone. The Civic Republic military, CRM, have destroyed it.
Yeah.
So we learned that straight away. What did you think about that? I mean, that was kind of like, wow, what a kind of opening bit of information to get. I mean, we knew they took out the colony, but
it was something we expected, but not to that level, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, because I was kind of like, perhaps it's going to get revealed there was an infection there and they had to step in and they're doing the really dark stuff. You know, like Rick would make this. You know, Carol set fire to the people who were sneezing, you know. Don't want to have COVID around Carol. But yeah, it was kind of like this massive, you know, step into this wallop. Here we go. One of the other things we have revealed early on is that the big bad, if you like, Elizabeth Kublik, I'm not sure. Lieutenant Colonel. She was the British attaché to the American Defence. So she was working for the MOD, the Ministry of Defence, which is the British kind of equivalent to, you know, to the American Defence Department.
Yes.
So she was there. So she was part of the government. She was sort of like a British ambassador, if you like, for defence. Yeah. And she was obviously with a section of the US government when the apocalypse happened. She'd have been living stateside, hence why she had the family in the US. Mm-hmm. So she was obviously part of that. So the fact that the Civic Republic, I think, is the remnants of US government. Do you think?
I would say it does seem to kind of nod that way. Yeah,
I think so. One of the initial things from episode 1 is she just leaves Hope in the city alone to kind of, I guess, go crazy and develop an instinct of where she wants to be part of the Civic Republic. I never really understood that. That seemed
Was it a case of, look how bad the world really is, we've got safety?
Yeah, but I mean, after going through all of that to get her there, she literally could have died.
It wasn't the best decision she could have made.
No.
It worked, however...
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a... You've spent all this time and resource and everything to ensure this person gets here safely.
Yeah.
And now we're just going to hope that she agrees that she's going to come with you.
Hope. Ironic.
Hey.
Iris and Felix find a community. I've written that resembled Hilltop / Alexandra in style. Felix is reunited with his boyfriend Will. Yeah. Iris kills a CRM patrol guy due to a dream ? She basically has a dream that the CRM killed everyone back at Omaha. She's dreamt it, so now she believes it, and she kills a guy because of it.
Yeah, I'm searching for logic.
No, there is no logic there, my friend. This is one of those things we're just going to go, okay, so that happened, and we're just going to move on.
Like, the clearest thing I've got to this is, like, when you've woken up in the morning and your other half is acting really crappy with you, and you're like, what the hell is going on? Oh, I'm just mad at you. Why? You were texting that other woman. When? I had a dream about it. Shut up.
See, the fact that you said when and not how did you find out suggests you're a good guy. Well done.
Thank you.
So Huck tells Hope about her mother and how the CRM operate.
Yeah.
That's probably the last bit in this. So there's two aspects to this which I think are quite interesting. One is that Huck is not Huck, but we have to call her Huck.
We call her Huck when she's around the Bennetts, and we call her Jennifer when she's not. Yeah.
Do you remember when John Dory first met the woman, and we were like, I don't know her name anymore. Is it June? Is it
Could be Pam. Yeah,
could be Dave. And so we went through the phase of where every time we talked about her, I'd say all of her names.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that again. I'm just calling her Huck.
What's really fun is that I watched a lot of this on, like at work. So I was watching it on my phone or the iPad.
Oh yeah.
a pair of headphones on so that I could drown out the rest of the work.
Yeah.
And so I had subtitles as well on.
Yeah.
And occasionally it did change from Jennifer to Huck.
Yeah.
Just randomly. And I'll be honest with you, there was one episode that I was doing something on the computer and I wasn't 100% on attention.
Yeah.
So I then had to go back and watch the entire episode again anyway. Because I got really confused. I'm like, who the hell is this Jennifer they keep talking about? What is going on? Where is this new character? I don't even see a character in the room.
Why are they acting like this is normal? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I know every person in the room. Who the hell is Jennifer on the subtitles? What is going on?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Jennifer.
So we move on to episode 2, which is Foothold.
Yes.
My first bullet point again, Iris still believes the CRM killed everyone because of a dream. This is either the laziest ass writing in the history of the world or just something really stupid. We see Silas again for the first time, and a guy takes him to work in decontamination.
Now, let's pause there, because this is damn cool.
Yeah, so what I've written down here is multiple mass culling facilities across the state. The guy with Silas is a mechanic called Dennis, and he's in a relationship with Huck. Obviously, later on, we learn that they're married.
Now, firstly, Dennis is the absolute legend from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Dennis is from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
As soon as he came on the screen, I was like, oh, yeah!
Good guy.
He's not going to be a baddie.
So, there's two other... I want to talk about the thing you want to talk about, but let's just do the other bullet points first. Hope gets a tour of a lab to talk about the research. She gives some smart-ass answer, and she's been there all of a day, and she's found herself a love interest. Yay, teen drama, everybody. The girlfriend of the dad is definitely a CRM plant. That's kind of confirmed. We had a little suspicion from season 1. It's now confirmed. She's basically nailing the dad to keep him sweet, keep him happy.
Pretty much, yeah. How do you keep a guy on side? Well,
yeah. Here's a lady. Yeah. Sadly, we are very simple creatures. But let's talk about the thing we want to talk about. The multiple mass culling facilities across the state. Dude, I love this because this, for me, was like answering a question. How in the hell do you have a community this big? Like Alexandria, we got a few hundred people in there. The walls have constantly got the dead up against the walls.
Yeah.
Constantly, all the time. How in the hell... with all the wars, all this massive thing, are you keeping the dead away?
With epic rave parties. Epic rave parties in the woods.
Absolute monstrous sound systems attracting the dead. Light shows attracting the dead.
Oh,
you
it's
get
like
them all
going
in there.
to a David Guetta concert in the woods. It's amazing.
Yeah. You get them all in there and then you blow them up.
Yeah, that bit probably isn't so much fun. But the first...
I don't know. It looks like it could be a laugh.
Oh man, yeah, it's such a cool idea. Like, it's so simple and so cool, and never been touched on at all.
But it's the organisation, isn't it? This is the organisation level of actual organised government and military. The CRM have set up, because he says, there's multiple across the state, and I think he even says one of the states are walker free because of it.
Yeah.
He says such and such is, there's no herds, there's no nothing because of how many of these they've got.
Which is just insane.
That is like literally you'd only have to deal with a walker when somebody dies.
Yeah, or the odd one might just happen to walk down a street.
Yeah, but compared
whilst they're
to
changing the records.
But compared to roaming herds, it's non-existent. I mean, I love that. That was great. That was a fun thing. So there we go. We've got the episode 2 and we've got something. So
yeah, man. And I love that. That was brilliant.
Episode 3, Exit Wounds. We catch up with Elton and Percy. I didn't even recognise Percy. I think you didn't either.
I messaged you, it took me a while to go, who the hell was that?
Yeah.
Oh! Yeah.
Yeah, so that was funny.
I think he's acted very well because the character's a complete dickhead.
Yeah.
And the actor does fantastic well, because I'm sure the actor himself is a very nice guy. But my God, the character's a dick.
Yeah, you're not a fan.
I'm going to go and talk to these guys because they've got some food and we could really do with some food. No, let's just steal it. No, let's go talk to them nicely. He's getting somewhere and, I thought I'd steal the food anyway.
What is interesting to me is my notes here are quite funny. So I was writing the notes episode by episode as we went. So I didn't have any look forward into the future when I wrote my notes. This is I'm calling it as I'm seeing it at the time.
Yeah.
Elton and Percy meet two nutters on the road. These weirdos are putting flowers in the eyeball sockets of the dead? What kind of freaky ass crap are we walking into?
Yeah,
and yet they're lovely. Weird. They're two of the nicest, kindest characters you're going to come across ever.
Yeah.
But it does raise a question to me, and it does happen throughout the show. Are there no one out on the road that isn't a teenager? Are teenagers just naturally drawn to other teenagers?
Do you know
why don't they ever run into an adult or anyone else? No, it's like, oh look, I'm a teenage boy, I must run into a teenage girl. What the hell? What is that, some sort of law?
I genuinely hadn't really thought about it, but you're right. No. I don't think they actually run into a group of adults
all the time. No,
like they get taken to.
Yeah, they get taken to where adults are. Yeah, but that's it. So they run into these two who are actually very good people. They kick their ass, by the way, with some sort of crazy ass martial arts style, which I enjoyed. All because of Percy being a prat, as you pointed out. They then take them back to this place, and the place they take them back to is this kind of town settlement where everybody else is. That works out brilliantly. Yeah. I've got down here that Hope is now all over this boy. Teenagers are down in the bunker having a good time. She does keep having a little bit of PTSD flashbacks. Yeah. But, that gets dropped after this episode, so that was worthwhile.
I quite liked the whole idea of, a bit like a university sort of thing. And they're like, we've found a place to hide. Like, that's the dorm that no one goes in, so that's like the party house. I quite like that.
No, I don't get me wrong. That's very realistic to what would happen. I'm just more like eye rolling at her being cuckoo over a boy straight away.
She's just met him. She's like, I love him.
Known him for 5 minutes. And she's like, I would die for him. Huck is back and full military now. Yeah. She's got some issues with the boyfriend/husband. There's some angst there. It would appear that she got demoted because she tried to cover for him doing something. He seems very loyal to the Civic Republic. He has questions about the CRM, the Civic Republic military, and so straight away I'm kind of like, I like this guy. This guy seems good.
He's good. Good old Dennis.
Yeah. And I've got that Huck takes Hope out to look for Iris and Felix, and they arrive at the town. Dun dun dun. How exciting for everybody. Episode 4, family is a 4-letter word. Again, it's not, so I don't know what that is. Huck, whose real name is Jennifer, I've written in my notes, and Hope want Iris and Felix to go back with them.
Yep.
Percy wants to kill Huck for his uncle. These are my bullet points. Felix threatens Huck/Jennifer with a walker. That was interesting. That was an interesting scene. I was not sure what was going to happen there. I didn't think Felix would go through with it. But I did wonder if perhaps Felix was going to, at the last minute, change his mind. Huck was going to stand up like, I'm glad you changed your mind. There's something really important I need to say to you. Then her head was going to pop because Percy shot her. And I was going to be like, ha, that's funny. Like, he was, Felix was going to be like, oh, I can't kill you. Oh no, I can't watch another person die. And then she'd die right in front of him. But that didn't happen. Silas tries to leave and the other kids stop him. They lock him in a place with walkers as punishment, ? However, it turns out it's just some warped ass training exercise and he absolutely aces it, but then doesn't really appreciate what they did. You
can understand that, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of the episode, Hope and Huck leave, so it's basically back where we started. No one goes with them. It's just a whole episode of, oh, should I, shouldn't I? Oh my god, let's have some angst over it. And then we go back to where we are. As you can tell, I was a massive fan of that episode.
Yeah.
Episode 5, Quattro something, yeah. Yeah. The CRM politics, civilian oversight after 10 years. Did CRM destroy Omaha to put that back? This is my first bullet point. So here we go. This is something that's actually worthy of us discussing. So when the CR was founded, the military basically had control from the politicians because of the situation. However, in this charter or whatever it is that they basically all follow, think of it like the Constitution, if you like.
Yep.
It would appear that after 10 years, civilians would be in charge of the CRM. it would no longer be a military-led operation. Like with government now. Politicians, civilians lead the military, are in charge.
Yeah.
I wondered at this point, but I think it's proven wrong going forward, did the CRM destroy Omaha as a way of going, look what can happen, we're not ready to change? Like, is the CRM trying to hold on to power?
Maybe, yeah.
Because there does appear to me anyway to be a potential conflict between what is the Civic Republic politicians and leadership as opposed to the CRM, because
we find that out a lot more later on in the show as well, don't we? There does seem to be this big kind of miscommunication between CR and CRM.
Yeah, because the Civic Republic, like I think Huck says and I think Dennis says, if the people knew what they are doing, they would never get away with it.
Yeah, if the people knew what the military was doing, then it would be shut down. It's like, damn, so these guys have almost gone rogue and trying to take over.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The other bullet points from this episode is Hope is told her idea is a potential breakthrough. She then blabs to her dad about seeing Iris. Never really understood that. That was that was pointless. Iris and Felix surrender to get into the place, hoping that they can get to her dad.
Yeah.
Percy joins them again. I didn't really understand that.
Dickhead.
I just he's just trying to get in there to kill her, but it's like, I don't.
I'll pretend to be Elton. I've borrowed his suit.
Yeah, shut up, you idiot. Huck finds info in a safe. Seems shocked, not sure what that is. She then has a very awkward dinner with her mother. Iris and Hope's dad wants to tell his girlfriend their plan to leave. Facepalm is what I've written in my notes.
Don't tell the girlfriend. We already know she's not good.
And then we find out that Huck found information about the CRM destroying Omaha, and it seems to be because they need people for more research. So that was what she found. That was kind of like the reveal. I'm not entirely sure I understood that.
100,000 people is a lot of test subjects. Like, you would think, if you did something 100,000 times, you'd like to think at least one of them wouldn't go wrong.
If you're gonna, Edison always says, he didn't fail 400 odd times. He just found 400 odd ways not to make a light bulb. Yeah. So you're telling me, you're like, I didn't fail 999,000 times. I just found 999,000 ways not to bring someone back from the dead.
Like, I'd like to think if I was to put a football on the halfway line and try and hit the crossbar, and I've got 100,000 balls, at least one of them's going to hit the damn thing, surely.
Before you
by luck, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't back me with that odds.
You're a rugby lad. Okay, for you it'd be hitting the post.
Yeah. I can clear them between the posts, no problem at all. But no, So I again with this episode, there's that bit of information, that bit of snippet which is interesting.
Yep.
Giving us some information on the CRM and the politics. But then just so much kind of like nonsensical interactions.
Yeah.
I think I said to you, the amount of time taken up in episodes where it's two people talking and the music changes and it's meant to be like dramatic mood setting.
Now that was really fun on subtitles because that tells you if it's intense music starts. That was hilarious. I think I had more subtitles for intense music intensifies and all this. Intensifying dramatic music. I was like, oh god.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I just find it crazy. So episode 6, Who Are You? The Civic Republic. It's now revealed that they used a chemical weapon to kill everyone at Omaha.
Now that's a bit brutal.
That's messed up. Don't get me wrong. However they did it was messed up, but they're using chemical weapons, which is. So it basically means they're killing them all, and then they're just going to be walkers. So they're going to be intact walkers, no damage to them. So they are literally creating subjects.
Now this made me think, because in season 1, don't we see them go like at Omaha?
Yeah.
And they've already put down like a load of walkers and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the campus colony. So the campus colony, which is where they were, was only like 1,000 people there, or whatever.
This is where I might have got confused because I was like, they've done all this to get test subjects. Yet we've already seen in the first season that they went round and killed a load of them.
Yeah, no, that was at the campus colony. We saw that at the Omar. We watched them blow up the walls.
Yeah,
and basically just gas them and then let a herd. Yeah, it's all messed up.
Yeah,
very, very messed up. Some bullet points again. So the girl's dad realizes his girlfriend could be in on it.
Yep.
Finally, there's a dinner. Hope is an absolute twonk and basically causes hell at that dinner.
Iris does, not Hope.
Oh, sorry, Iris.
The other sister. Yeah, that I didn't understand as well. It was like, we must try and get some information. And then she goes like, it was like giving us a bacon sandwich to a vegan. She just went off on it, and it was like, oh, come on, you didn't need to do that. Like, why?
No, and I agree. Yeah.
Why have you gone into such detail and done like? You've basically single-handedly created this plan and then ruined this plan.
Yep.
And I was like, that I didn't understand. I was like, is it just kind of trying to be we're a teenager, we're stroppy, we have our idea, we don't like what you said?
But it's just pathetic.
Well, yeah.
It's pathetic. It's an absolute pathetic scene. Because the whole idea is they're keeping her there whilst Felix and Huck break into her lab.
Yep.
So you just sit there, you smile, and you talk. You don't get into an argument. Her whole character in this is so stupid that it's like, actually, I refuse to believe anyone is that dumb. Because if she wasn't aware of the plan, then you'd go, oh no, she's wrecking it.
But she made the plan up.
She made the frigging thing.
Her character throughout this. Now, we're going to do this professionally, and we're going to talk about story arcs and character arcs. Her character arc, I just do not understand. No. Because let's look at the original Walking Dead.
Yeah.
You had Carl.
Yeah.
Now, Carl went through... He went through probably a season or two of everyone just constantly face-palming. Like, seriously, someone just bite the kid.
Yeah.
Like, just... Carl, there's a lot of walkers coming. Do me a favour. Just sit in the cupboard.
Yeah.
Don't do anything. Where's Carl gone? I thought I heard a noise upstairs, so I went to go investigate. You know, it was like just so annoying. And then
stay in the damn house.
That's it. But then another couple of seasons later, and he was an absolute badass, and he was like the main hero that everyone kind of connected with. But it took, let's say, 3 or 4 seasons to go through that full cycle. With Iris, they've kind of put in the annoying child aspect. But throughout the 2 seasons, she builds her annoyance up, but then she doesn't really get the redeeming arc at the end either.
No, it's just she's aggravating.
You know, most characters that we've witnessed have had some sort of redeeming characteristic. I mean, Henry, for example, had his head put on a spike. You know, they all had a redeeming feature.
Yep.
Her character hasn't had one.
No.
She didn't even get murdered for us to go, oh no, look how sad everyone is that she's dead.
I would not have said oh no.
Well, no, I would not. But do you remember, like, with Henry, everyone used to get really annoyed by Henry's character.
Yeah.
His death wasn't something sad.
It was impactful.
Yeah, no one was sad that Henry was dead, but the effect it had on the whole story and everything else and all the other characters was like, damn. But with this... They didn't even kill her off to make people more angry or something. They just let her wander off at the end. And I'm like, so what was the point of her character other than just to cause chaos?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. The other aspect in this episode which I didn't get is the fact that Will wants to break into the outpost. He's like determined, I'm going to get in there. There's a plan. There is something going on.
Yeah.
And again, these kind of actions, I'm like... You're a grown ass man in this. I'm even less understanding with you.
Yeah, he's potentially a military man.
Yeah,
like the way he's gone through the training. Yeah,
it's like this makes no sense. Like there is a plan in place, and you are literally potentially ballsing it up. However, the son of the woman who runs this place agrees to take him, and in totally unpredictable way, by the way, totally didn't see it coming. The way he said goodbye to everybody, he gets killed. His face literally explodes with a bullet. The CRM see him and shoot him, and Will goes back with his tail between his legs to where he was in the first place.
Yeah, there was a split second where I genuinely thought the kid had killed Will.
No.
There was that very slight split second.
Blood all over him.
You hear the gunshot, and I was like, oh! And then he gets hit by the blood, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
No, dead. But the big thing from this episode, the big thing, and it was just thrown in, is a kind of blinking you'd have missed it happening. Jadis returns.
Yeah.
And Jadis is like a CRM military police. Like, think of them like the bloody Gestapo, I think.
She's like a general. Yeah.
Yeah. And her and Huck have got a history together. They train together.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's kind of crazy. Jadis is there. She is part of the CRM. Now, we knew, obviously, that she took the helicopter with Rick. We knew that. We knew she'd gone to the Civic Republic. But she is part of the military. She is part of the establishment.
Yeah.
And in a big way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so episode 7, Blood and Lies. We learn that it's chlorine gas. We see that the doctor's killing someone with it, which is really messed up. She's fully on board with what they're doing,
and he wasn't overly happy about being a test subject. Like these,
no,
I feel like these guys weren't willing test subjects.
No, of course they're not. We see Jadis and Silas talk, which was kind of weird. The dad is interrogated by Jadis and Huck kind of, I think, tries to prove to Jadis that she's on board. And does a kind of a good job of that, I think. The evil scientist, in air quotes, the evil scientist Dr. Girlfriend I've written, goes to Iris and Hope, gets the vial back that they stole from her lab, and the evil doctor makes a play, and Jadis agrees. Basically, the evil doctor throws everybody under the bus, but does it in a way that this guy's going to live, because she's like, look, I'm throwing everyone under the bus, but you can't kill him because he's the brains. He is very... And Jadis is like, fine, you're right. What I didn't see coming, to be fair, is the fact that Jadis agreed to the plan and was like, yeah, you're right. He is the person we need. We don't need you. And killed him.
Yeah. I messaged you.
Literally feeds her to the walker she created.
Yeah, I watched this episode and messaged you like, damn. She's just betrayed the whole lot of them.
Yeah,
and then
never mind.
3 minutes later, don't worry.
Yeah. I got a question for you though, right? So you're locked in a room with a walker, okay? You've got no weapons.
Yeah.
Surely you fight. You punch it. You kick it. You try and get it on the ground and stomp on its head.
No, you run around in circles constantly and then hammer at a glass door. Obviously.
I can't be alone in just looking at that thinking, what?
Yeah, like...
You're literally one-on-one. Now, granted, if the thing doesn't kill you, they're probably going to open the door and shoot you. Fine. If someone's going to shoot me in the head, I'd rather that than be eaten alive.
Yeah, like... And the whole thing is that she's already shown Hope and Iris the whole thing about the rat gets tired, but the zombie doesn't.
Yeah. And
so
then
she runs in circles anyway. I was like, oh, that's dumb. That's so dumb.
I cannot even get over this show sometimes. So Huck and Percy have a scene, and Huck is allowed to live. Percy's going to kill her. I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill that bitch. No, never mind.
She's just going to tell me some information, and then I'm going to go back and don't worry.
Yeah, and she basically reveals that the CRM are planning to wipe out Portland the same way they did Omaha. So 100,000 people were killed at Omaha. Portland apparently has 87,000 people. And Jadis gave this info to Huck. I don't get why she'd do that. That seems like an odd move for someone who's a paranoid nutjob. But I guess earlier in the episode, she did do something which perhaps Jadis in mind was like, proof she's on board.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure on that. But there was some information in this episode that was worthy of pointing out. Episode 8, called Returning Point, we open with an odd flashback. And the reason why I deem it odd, and I'd love your opinion, is basically the Lieutenant Colonel agreeing to give the meds to the community leader, Indira.
Yes.
We already knew that. Why did we need a flashback of their agreement?
Yeah, we've already been told it by Asher, who's told Elton all about it.
Like, the flashback added no more information. There was, like, no additional information other than they did a deal.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
We had already been told, yeah.
Yeah, it was almost like they were running the light on the episode and they just needed an extra scene. Indira and her people plan to run from the CRM. However, they get rounded up. Jadis is sent in the CRM troops because obviously she's worked out that they helped this mob who were infiltrating the facility. Yep. Jadis orders them all killed. However, Dennis arrives. Him and Silas save them, but Dennis gets shot.
Yeah.
Poor Dennis.
This guy has now got a bit of a history of being the good guy and getting shot.
Yeah. Would everybody stop getting shot? Brody, part of Indira's group, runs to the CRM and basically wants to blab and they're all doing this bad.
Yeah,
people.
what a
So
muppet.
Huck murders him when he tries to blackmail her. Yeah, Huck's ruthless. That guy picked the wrong person to try and blackmail.
I might tell them what you've done. Bang!
Yeah,
No,
bang! Well, you ain't telling anyone now, sunshine. That was probably my favourite Huck moment, by the way. That was probably it. The plan is to round up all the scientists, get them in a room, and then break down into an old cave tunnels under the facility. So they're trying to escape. The dad has gone to all the scientists, said the CRM are evil. We're doing evil things, we're working for evil people, but our research is still good and valid, so let's take our research, get the hell out of here. And they're all like, okay.
One of them's like, I don't know if we'll get away. And then he goes, but we will. And he goes, okay then.
Yeah. Oh, you've got me convinced. They kidnap Mason as part of the plan. Mason is the boy that, what's her name like?
Yeah, the son of the big, one of the boys, yeah.
Yeah, the Major General Beale, or whatever
That's
his name
it,
is.
Beale, yeah.
Episode 9, Death and the Dead. There's C4 on the walkers, and they kill some soldiers with it. I've written down decent plan. So, basically the group of scientists know that the CRM are going to get sent into these tunnels to track them down. So these walkers that have had these kind of, what are they, like information packs on the radio, so they can track herd movements, again, kind of cool.
Yeah.
like tracking weather patterns. Oh, there's a herd moving east. Yeah. But basically they slap them with C4, so the CRM soldiers go to try and, intervene, put them down because they notice they're walkers.
And they're all just using their tablets going, and bang, and bang!
Yeah, so that was kind of fun. That was kind of weird. There's also what I really enjoyed, a great scene with frozen walkers. So these walkers were frozen, so basically their heads were solid. So bloody poor Felix, I think it is, hits one. Is like, oh crap, I can't break his head open.
Yeah.
But then we get the scene where the evil Doc, who has now turned, and is now frozen, gets killed by Hope.
Hope ramming her door constantly.
So gross.
Yeah.
So cool, but fun. But yeah, I did like that. Frozen cold walkers, they couldn't smash their heads. Imagine having to deal with them in the bloody Arctic.
That's what I was just about to say. Can you imagine going to like Greenland or somewhere and having to put them down and being like,
bloody hell.
Yeah,
basically, you've got to trap them and take an hour with an axe.
We've decided just to cut all their heads off and throw them in the ocean. It was easier.
Yeah, it was easier. Yeah. Wherever they wash up, good luck. So Jadis moves the gas. So basically the whole idea was that they go and blow the gas up at this place and leave the facility to be overrun. But Jadis has moved it. Silas and Elton are crushing walkers with a globe. Did we want to even talk about that?
Mate, that's awesome.
You wanted to? You think that was cool?
So cool. It was just a vision of, I think I've got a way out.
It was a funny scene.
They're just running down a hill. Blood splattering. Now I'm pretty sure blood goes in Elton's mouth.
Yeah. It doesn't matter, but it was a very funny. So let's just treat it a bit like the Michonne and Rick with the chain between the two cars kind of moment.
Just a bit of fun, and I did laugh. Yeah. I chuckled.
Yeah. Jadis reveals the CRM decided to kill everyone as they felt the Alliance was a drain on the CR. So basically the CRM looked at what was going on and went, there's 100,000 people there, there's 87,000 people there, and the Alliance is now less about mutual help and more about us constantly giving them our supplies. Therefore, we've decided they're a drain, we're going to kill them. Yeah. It's brutal. It is absolutely brutal. So, like, politicians and people like that put together a treaty, an agreement. However, the military have looked at it and gone, nah, that's no good. that's no good. We're just going to kill him, and that's what they did. So that is quite a big reveal as we head into the finale.
Yeah,
episode 10.
It's a brutal reveal. It's like, I understand like what she's saying. They're drained on resources. They're too dependent on us. They're not being independent enough. So we're just going to murder them.
Yeah.
Not like, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to half everything we give them.
And
make them go
just we'll kill them.
Yeah.
It's because the military have decided that the people wouldn't go for it.
Yeah.
They've obviously looked at it and gone, the politicians won't like it. The politicians will want to keep the deal going as it is. So we'll just wipe them out and say a herd did it.
Yeah.
Messed up. But episode 10, The Last Light. These are my bullet points. Felix versus Frank CRM Soldier is a good fight.
I love the way that does it.
It is a good fight. That is a good fight. I enjoyed that. The fact that Felix says to him, like, the next time I see you, you're dead as well. And the guys, like, they look at each other and they're like, okay, bring it on then. Yeah. So that was fun. You said
you were going to kill me. Prove it. I'm not going to kill you. Opens the gates to all the walkers.
Yeah, Dennis is dying.
Yeah, he's not in a good way.
He is dying. He's with Huck. Huck basically sends him and Silas to get weapons. Yeah. They have found the gas. The gas was stored, ironically, at Dennis's facility.
Yeah.
That worked out well, didn't it? But they've done that. Now Dennis and Silas go off to find some weapons, and Dennis is dying, and the CR close in on them. Yeah. So I know this is kind of out of time order, but Dennis says to Silas, "You've got to kill me. If you kill me, because I took you and I forced you, you can get in. They will, you will get in with them, and you will survive. If you don't, they're going to walk in here and kill us both."
Yeah.
And Silas does it.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure how I felt about this.
Silas is a stone cold killer, by the way. Yeah. We know that. Silas was kind of like trying to reform himself, and then all of a sudden he started killing walkers for funsies.
Yeah.
And he looked like he enjoyed that. You almost, a bit of a Silas boner going on every time he ripped the guy's head off.
Yep.
I'm not convinced if we ever run into Silas in the future, he's not going to be fully CRM.
Yeah, like the way it was going, you kind of thought, okay, he just wants, you're a good guy, really, Dennis. Dennis is one of the good ones. Yeah. I'm a good one. You're a good one. Yeah. But the end scene of Silas is him in full-on black gear, running what looks like running a training session.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. Like I said, if we don't bump into him again in some capacity, he's not fully CRM.
Yeah.
But that's how Dennis goes. Now, Dennis goes and there's a massive explosion. Basically, Huck sent them away because Huck worked out that she was going to lure Jadis and that lot in, and they didn't have a radio detonator for the C4, so she was going to have to be there on site to do it, and she sets a timer on a watch.
Now, this has two things for me.
Go on.
They don't have a radio transmitter, so they have to set it off manually. And I'm
but she does manage to set a timer.
But she manages to set a timer to do it automatically, so she could have got away.
She could have got away. I think you're right. I think she made the decision to stay. I think she in her head didn't want to get away from that, and she wanted Jadis there.
Yeah,
or she wanted to kill Jadis and get away.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's what it was. I think she hoped she'd beat Jadis and get the hell out of there, but when Jadis got the better of her. In this scene, Rick is mentioned. So there's a fight between Jadis and Huck. And again, it's a decent fight.
Yep.
Jadis talks about Rick.
Huck
says,
20 episodes. 20 episodes.
You used someone. You bought your way in. And she says, he was an A, but I told everyone he was a B. I owed him that much. We are guessing that A's are for labs experimentation and B's are worker bees.
What I love is the fact that in my head now, there is somewhere playing really loud music, drawing walkers in. And Rick just stood there going, for fuck, dead.
Yeah, I am so fed up of being
dead.
here.
Yeah.
Yep, no, I'm with you on that. But yeah, Huck gets the final say. Jadis kills her in the same way she tried to kill Rick, by the way, which is getting in close and stabbing her, basically the same way. Yeah. Huck's final moments is basically grinning at Jadis as she reveals that she set a timer. Jadis does escape. She does get out of there in a helicopter, and the whole place goes. So the gas has been destroyed. Elton then saves Hope from being bitten, which is an interesting thing because, of course, Hope killed his mother.
Yeah, and then he gets
so that
bit,
was kind of like...
And at this point, I was like, damn it, he's probably the one person I didn't want to get bit.
Yeah, interesting, because I said to you that by the last few episodes, I was quite pleased with his development, his character arc. Do you agree with me on that? Yeah. He was the one that actually changed, developed, and was at the end was kind of like he gets it. He actually understands what's going on.
And he's so used to getting bitten because of his tough knit suit. He wasn't wearing it. No. So Elton saves Hope, gets bitten, his arm's chopped off, and he pulls through, which is good. He does survive. Iris, Asha and Elton head to Portland with a few members of Adira's group. The rest of them stay behind with the doctors, who set up this lab in this like old mall, like shopping mall they found, which has kind of only got one way in and out so they can secure it. And they're happy. They're working away trying to find a cure, whereas the others have wandered off to Portland. That is the end. Yeah.
Do you think Portland could be where Eugene is? I'm not sure. I generally don't know the geography enough to know if it is.
No, I did wonder this. I did wonder if they're going to pop up. My first thought was, like you said, I wonder if that's where the King's group is.
Yeah.
My second theory was, oh God, no, not Iris.
Yeah.
I don't mind the other three. The other three can make it, but not... Oh, yeah. But I do wonder if that's how they're going to...
tie some stuff in.
Yeah.
We will have to wait and see. Now, the big thing to talk about, though, after 20 episodes, 2 seasons spread over about 18 months thanks to the pandemic, is the after-credit scene.
Yeah!
The after-credit scene is the big thing here. Now, the after-credit scene involves Dr. Jenner from The Walking Dead.
Yes! Yes.
And it is in France. Now, one of the things from The Walking Dead, and a lot of people hopefully will remember, is when he reveals stuff about the outbreak, he says France were the closest to identifying a cure before we lost all communications.
Yeah.
He says, I think they were the closest. What we now learn in this after credit scene, if I'm reading it right, France caused it. There was research being done in a lab in France, I'm guessing, on preventing death.
Yeah.
Or something, or like resurrecting the dead. And that experiment caused the zombie apocalypse. And to add what can only be described as insult to injury, is in the recording, Dr. Jenner says, we don't have any variations here, any variants or mutations to the virus. We're not seeing that at all. What information can you send me?
Yeah.
And we have a guy in French arrived, this scientist is there, and he's basically saying, what part, I can't believe you came back here, and he kills her, he shoots her. He doesn't shoot her in the head.
Nope. Silly man. Silly man.
And she turns, and she runs. She is a zombie, and she runs at the door, and is beating the crap out of it. She is World War Z style zombie.
So what's really cool is following on from the Marvel theme, we now have variants.
We now have, well, think to me, the minute I heard variant in this context, of course, I'm thinking about the bloody pandemic we're enduring right now, COVID, pandemic, variations on the virus, and here we have, there is variation. So basically Europe, where we're from, by the way, we've been dealing with running walkers. I mean, we're dead. I thought me and you could have survived, but no, not like that.
I've always said my theory is, if we get George Romero or the original Walking Dead zombies, I give myself a bit of a chance.
Yeah.
If we get World War Z,
sort
of, or I Am Legendy sort of things like that, I am taking myself out within the first 4 hours.
Yeah, it ain't happening, is it?
Yeah, I am not getting eaten alive. Do you know what? I'll just take myself. See you later. Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. So if anyone hasn't seen the after credit scene, you need to find it. It's definitely worth watching if you're a fan of The Walking Dead.
It's all over YouTube. You just need to search Walking Dead end credit scene, and it's everywhere.
Yeah. It is a very, very important scene for the future of the Walking Dead universe. That is our show. That is our show here for Walking Dead Wednesday on the World Beyond. Again, we're just going to reiterate, it wasn't a show for us. There was a lot of just the angsty rubbish, so we have bullet pointed it. But we thought there was some information in there which is relevant. Whether we're still going to get the Rick Grimes films, who knows? I certainly hope we'll get at least one. But anyway, that is Walking Dead Wednesday. Walking Dead show returns with a one-off episode in February. We'll obviously bring that to you. Fear the Walking Dead resumes in March, I believe. But this week, on Friday, Christmas Eve, Fear the Walking Dead, Fear on Friday, our show talking about Season 7 Part A, the opening episodes of that. And then also on Christmas Day, you'll have our Christmas special. So if you're fed up with the family, you can put us in your ears for half an hour. Hopefully we'll entertain you. Until then, my friend, you take care.
That's a season show and everything wrap.
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.